It's another beautiful day to be a Raider, draped in the silver and black. I represent the shield. I represent the swords. It's that time of night again, Raider Nation. And you've come back. Why? Because it's time. It's time to bring them.
What's up, Raider Nation? I am the Commish. Coming to you live, as always, from Hardcore Challenge Live Studios. Where might you ask? Deep behind the enemy lines. This is Raider Reaction. On a Thanksgiving Eve, as we're all getting ready to be inundated with family, food, and football all day tomorrow. So, I mean, what Thanksgiving's like, it's basically my favorite holiday. I mean, I just listed all the reasons. Food, football, a whole day of it. I even like the fact we got Thursday night football now, because now you got Thursday night football. So you got 3 games. You got a whole slate of football all day long. So it's so much better. See, we got a whole slate of games tomorrow. Yeah, you got an early game, an afternoon game, and you even got an evening game. Evening game's not exactly the most stellar matchup, but it is true. I sleep. You're correct, Leslie. It's eat, sleep, eat football, fall asleep, wake back up, eat a little more, watch a little more football, nap again, catch the. Yeah, it's pretty much in and out of turkey coma all day long, and I can't wait. So thank you for joining me. Please share it up. As always, I appreciate anybody that stops in with me on a Raider Reaction. So, as we do every Monday and Wednesday on Raider Reaction, we drop back deep in the pocket and we let it fly league-wide, and we're going to touch on all the hot league topics tonight. Prime is not with me this evening, so I'm going to be running everything down solo style. But I want to touch on some Raider news, obviously, out of the gate. And probably the biggest news today, obviously we know the big news yesterday was obviously, the release of Ken Norton Jr. That was the biggest news. Well, now the fallout seems to continue as Khalil Mack and Bruce Irvin, originally it was just reported as Irvin, but Mack also, were both given a day of rest today, as they were allowed to go get their feels in order over their coach getting released and let go. God, what kind of soft-ass society do we live in anymore? When the strongest of the strong, our gladiators, now need a day off to deal with their feels and they can't get ready for the game. I mean, seriously? I mean, I understand you're upset, but come on. Get your ass out there and practice. Last I checked, we're a fucking 4-6 football team. You don't get a fucking day of rest when you're a 4-6 football team. You need to practice. Obviously, you need to practice a little extra because your freaking defensive coach just got his ass fired because you guys are not producing on the field. So, you're involved in that somehow. You're culpable in that somehow. Get your ass out there and practice. Suck it up. Man, I swear to God, we are such a freaking pansy-ass society anymore. Everybody needs a break or a day off for some... I mean, come the hell on. Go to work. Go to work. Your coworker got fired. You need a day off? Get the hell out of here. I have coworkers lose their jobs for a hell of a lot less money than what you jackasses are getting paid. So come on. Suck it up. My God. The fact that they needed a rest day, it was ridiculous. We were a 4-6 football team. You don't get rest days when you're a 4-6 football team. You just don't. Rest days. Good God. There was a day in football, these fuckers would have been running 3-a-days if they were 4-6. Coaches would have been running their ass into the ground, not giving them a goddamn day of rest. Day of rest. For what? The hell's... Go look at Bruce Irvin's stat line for the year. He needs a day of fucking rest? Get the hell out of here. My God. Not able to practice, I'm telling you. The whole premise and the idea that you practice your ass off all the way from pee-wee football all the way to the top of the mountain of your craft. And then you don't practice hard anymore. Does that make any damn sense? You practice your ass off hours every week to hone your craft to get good enough to get there. And then when you get there, you don't need to practice hard anymore? Does that make any damn sense? To anybody? No. That doesn't make any sense. You need more practice, not less. You're trying to stay at the top peak of your game to compete against the greatest athletes in the world. And you practice less? Practicing shoulder pads and shorts? Seriously? That's insane. What's up, King? Right back at you, my man. Right back at you. I hope everybody has a safe and happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy your extra time off. There will be no Raider reaction webcast tomorrow night because obviously it is Thanksgiving. And you shouldn't be spending any time with me. You should be spending it with your family because that's what I'm going to be doing. So, I hope everybody takes time off. But now, I will be back Friday night because it's Black Friday. It's the real Black. It's Black Friday on Black Friday. Double Black Friday. So I'm going to be back. How can I miss a double Black Friday? Because I got a good game for you. I got a good game for you guys for a double Black Friday. I'm going to give you the whole game. I hope you guys enjoyed last week's game. It was the 1976 AFC Championship game. Where they finally defeated the Steelers on the way to the Super Bowl. Score of the game Sunday. Ooh. Score of the game Sunday. Frank just throws it out there. You know what? I'll take that. I'll take that. Score of the game Sunday. Now I do think we're going to win this game. I don't think Paxton Lynch is a concern. I'm a little concerned about the turmoil this has created with our defense. I'm a little concerned. I'm not going to lie. Although you've just released the defensive coordinator. You've got a new defensive coordinator appointed. Your freaking star of the team needed a day off. The star of that side of the ball, the reigning defensive player of the year, needed a day of rest because he's not happy about what's going on. It's not good when your franchise, half your franchise, not happy about what's going on. Half the core of your franchise. So that's concerning. Yes, it's concerning. and concerns you about what kind of cohesiveness we'll have on Sunday when they need to play as a unit. Now, like I said last night, I do see where the possibility of having somebody else driving as the defensive coordinator that could make some changes. We need to get that first pick. I hope it comes this weekend because that's a monkey we need to get off of our back. Now, as far as score, I don't think it's going to be a juggernaut of a game, but I think we can keep the Donkeys down. I'm looking at I'm going to say 21-13. 21-13. We'll give up a couple field goals, a touchdown, and it's not going to be a scoring onslaught. I'm going to say 21-13. Raiders win. I hope I'm wrong. I hope we score more. And I hope we don't allow any. But our offense, I don't get our offense. I really don't. As much as we should be putting up points, we're just not. And I got to be realistic. I got to be realistic about the point total. I got to be realistic about the point total. So I think Prime has a family over jukebox for the holidays. It is the night before Thanksgiving. A lot of people are already having family over and what have you. We are not. Our holiday begins in the morning. And we've got a fairly action-packed holiday weekend planned, and I hope you guys do as well. I hope our defense will improve, Frank. I don't think it's a bad thing. I don't think this change is a bad thing. I think we need some spark. Pagano has been known to bring the blitz. He's led a top 10 NFL defense in recent past history. In 2012, 2014, he led a top 10 defense for the Chargers in both of those seasons, and their yardage differential was very good in both. We need to create turnovers. We're not. That has been a big problem. We're all well aware of the fact we do not have an interception yet in 2017, which is a freaking embarrassment. And we just need to get that taken care of so people quit talking about it. Quite frankly, somebody grab a freaking pick, please. Because I'm sick of hearing about it. It's just one of those, you're like, I don't give a shit. This is some garbage pick. Who cares? Somebody grab one. Goddamn. Good Lord. Just to get it to hell so people will just shut up and quit talking about it. I'm hoping, BC, I hope it puts a fire under somebody. But first impression, when you got arguably your two biggest stars on defense, walk out the next day, basically. Although it's a day of rest. Day of rest. Yeah, okay. You're not happy, and you needed a day to think about it. Happy Thanksgiving to you too, T, and everybody else watching. Hope you guys have a happy and safe holiday. I'll see you guys back on Friday night for Black Friday. I've got another great classic picked out for you guys, dusted off out of the Raider archives. And we'll hit on that on Friday. And then, of course, I will be out on location. I'm meeting up with a new booster club for this game that I have not been to before. I'm going over to Orlando to meet up with the Orlando Raider Nation. And I'm going to hang out with Johnny and Mo and Alan in the group over there. And the captain is coming with me, I do believe as well. And we're going to do another live on location halftime show. Donkeys at Raiders. We'll be meeting and greeting with the Orlando Raider Nation there in attendance. And then we'll do our live halftime show. I thought last week's halftime show turned out well. was the first time I'd worked with the captain, and basically we sat down live and chopped it up right there, and it seemed to flow fairly well. And so you're going to see a little more of Captain and the Commish live together in studio. He's going to be coming in. We're talking about getting a regular weekly segment with him in studio, since we do live in such close proximity. So you may be seeing a little more of the captain on the Raider Reaction team. So that will be nice. Let's spin through a few of the games, then we'll jump back into some Raider action. Let's just touch on tomorrow's games first, because the early game is a freaking, I mean, what a great game to get for when you're sitting around, you're ready to eat some freaking turkey, and you got the 8-2 Vikings at the 6-4 Lions. I mean, that is a pretty damn good matchup, a pretty good freaking game, because half the time, your Thanksgiving games, they're just not good. It's just football. It's just football to watch. But the game isn't always good, because, it's always Detroit, and, Detroit's Detroit. But 8-2 against 6-4, this is two possible playoff teams here, and they're division rivals, and that's a big game to watch. Now, the second game, it's a little interest for us Raider fans, is you got the surging Chargers, the chokers, the surging chokers at 4-6, who pull themselves out of the cellar, and we keep stumbling over ourselves and pissing down our leg, so they've caught up to us now. They're playing the Cowboys, who are also in a complete toilet bowl spinning. So it's an interesting matchup there. And then the night game, you got another division matchup as the 2-8 Giants and the 4-6 Skins. It's football, and hey, it's something to watch. That was not the best game. You start out, you peak early, and then it just kind of falls off as the day goes on, unfortunately, with the quality of matchups. Because you get the best one right out of the gate. But honestly, that's what I'd like to have, the best matchup on Thanksgiving. I'm going to be sitting around. That's prime freaking tearing into some food action and just kicking back. And let's watch some quality football. These are two good teams. And that's what I'm talking about. And then when the Chargers and Cowboys come on, I can go into my first turkey coma and sleep damn near through most of that game. Just wake up and watch the fourth quarter. That's how we need it to work out. Now, as the King was saying, and as T alluded to, we are still in the hunt. The fact of the matter is, as crappy as we have done thus far, we are 4-6. And we come back home with a pair of games against opponents that are very, very beatable. Very beatable. You've got the Donkeys, you've got the Giants. If we win both those games, we're 6-6. Now, of course that's not a bad record. Who said we was anything about being the AFC elite right there? TC. And if you got... Did anybody say anything about that? We're talking about getting into the playoffs. And reality is reality. The AFC is weak right now. The AFC is weak. You've got a couple teams at the top and a whole bunch of guys in the middle at 6-4, 5-5, and 4-6. One wild card spot is held by a 6-4 team. One is held by a 5-5 team. That means currently we are only one game out. San Diego is surging, but they're 4-6. That's not much of a surge. So how can we praise the formerly San Diego, now LA Chokers for being 4-6 and shit on us for being 4-6? Do you see the hypocrisy in that statement? How can you be a surging 4-6? Because I keep hearing that and I call bullshit. So how can we be dead at 4-6 and they're a surging 4-6? You can't fire a head coach this late in the game. You just can't. That if we're 0-8 or 1-7 or 2-7, yes, then you can fire a head. You can't. Not this late in the game if you still have a shot. Because the bottom line is we still have a shot. We are only 2 games out of the division crown, and we still play Kansas City, so we control one of those games. Kansas City has lost, 4 of 6? It's mathematically still very, very possible. If we win these next 2 games, we line ourselves up to have a very, very good possibility. Is he a Chokers fan? What's your team, TC? Competing around the bush. They have a great defense. That's why they're 4-6. Them, they're great defense. How you don't have anything great. You don't have a great anything if you're 4-6. I'm sorry, you don't. You wouldn't be 4-6. You just wouldn't. You just wouldn't. I'm a Patriots Raider? What the hell kind of bullshit is that? A what? Did I read that right? A Patriots Raider? What the fuck is that? What the hell is that? Is that some sort of abomination? You can't have 2 teams. You can't rep 2 teams. Then that means you're not even a fan. That means your entire platform or anything that you just said is now completely irrelevant. Irrelevant. You're not a fan. And 2 AFC teams? You're rooting for 2 AFC teams? Get the hell out of here. That's some bullshit. Psh, come on. Everything you said just became completely irrelevant. Completely irrelevant. Don't speak again. Thank you. ReACTION is for real fans. Fan, which is short for fanatic. God. Oh my God. Don't explain yourself. We've seen enough out of you. Thank you. No. No breaks to be given. No breaks to be given. A Patriots Raiders fan. That's like the... Oh my God. That's insanity. Absolute freaking insanity. So let's touch on a couple of the big stories, because there were some big league stories today. You had Freeney, who's actually joining the Lions after a surprise Seahawks cut, and you could see him suiting up as soon. It would be crazy to see him tomorrow, but there is talk and possibility. So he was scooped up by the Lions, who are trying to fix their defensive line. That is a solid pickup for them. Another big move. Now this one, the Queefs go out and grab Darrelle Revis. Man, Revis Island has been vacant for several years now. Revis? I kept hearing people call for us to go out and grab Revis. Like, corners, that is a young man position. You lose a step at corner, you're now getting burnt by 23, 24-year-old wide receivers who are 6'6", and run like a fucking deer. You can't lose a step and cover these guys. Cornerback is a young man's game. So when these guys start to tip over the 30 mark at corner, you start seeing guys like Charles Woodson, Rod Woodson move, and they play more safety. Because now you don't have to, you're not trying to cover them step for step. It's a different position. You can still use your ball skills, your football skills. Cromartie's another one. Jukebox. Old. They're comparing him to speed of maybe like Sean Smith is what they're saying. Cromartie's at now. We don't need that. We don't need an aging, slowing corner. So, good luck, Kansas City. Because I think you just threw money away. You know what, T? I was excited about him coaching the D-backs when they'd moved him into that position earlier and having more of a hand in that. But I haven't seen where it's made a huge difference thus far. So I'm curious, and I'm curious to see how this change at the coordinator who's the guy steering, who's driving. I'm curious to see how this affects and changes what's going on out there on the field. Man, just mix in a few more blitzes, some more stunts, make people guess a little bit, gamble a little bit. We're already getting burnt, so why not gamble too? The best friend of defensive backs are a good pass rush. Nothing can help your guys in the back if we get some pressure. If you get pressure on the quarterback and he doesn't have time to sit back there and pick our secondary apart, and he has to make quick decisions, that helps out the secondary. That gets you stops. That gets your defense off the field. So, it's related. It's connected. And man, I swear the last few games, if I've screamed, bring pressure, blitz, Jesus, God, bring a blitz. And we just don't. We just don't. And you know what? They know we're not going to too. They know we're not going to too. The other team knows we're not going to too. So if you don't, you've got to gamble sometime on defense. You've got to make the quarterback think, damn, man, last time, shit, I never thought that safety was going to come. I never thought they were going to bring that linebacker. You know, you've got to keep a quarterback guessing. These guys are getting comfortable back there. They're sitting back there, they're not getting touched, and they're getting to pick apart a secondary that is not that freaking great. I agree with you, Roger. I agree. This is not a one side of the ball problem. At all. At all. It is not a one side of the ball problem at all. The fact that we only put up 8 points last game is unacceptable. We are a healthy offense. We are a healthy offense. There is no reason for the ineptitude that we are showing on the field right now. Because we are a healthy offense. Every freaking drive, it's something stupid. We shoot ourselves in the foot. First drive of the game, moving the ball, Seth Roberts, seam down the middle, off the hands. Punt. It's just, Mac is getting no help. None. Michael's right. He's not getting any help. When's the last time you heard any impact or seen any impact on the field from Irvin? I've seen more out of Bowman than I have Irvin. We're just not getting the impact from the rest of the guys that we need. And Mac's getting held on every freaking play. So somebody else has to get free. Mac is drawing attention and he's getting held. So that means there's got to be openings. You have to exploit that. We have to be more aggressive on both sides of the ball. We have to. We have to. We have to get more aggressive on both sides of the ball. Offense, though, but I mean, we kill ourselves half the time by shooting ourselves in the foot with the drops, the bad turnovers, the bad fumbles like last game. We've got to cut that stuff out. That stuff's got to get cut out. And we got to figure out a way to fix that. We've got to figure out how to become explosive. I agree, BC. It's the team right now. As a team, we are just not playing well on either side of the ball. We are not clicking. We're not sustaining drives. And we're not putting points on the board. Rod Woodson has... like I said, I was excited, and I talked a lot about the fact Rod Woodson was going to be coaching the D-backs. I talked a lot about it in the offseason. But the D-backs have not seemed to step it up. Out of the one position that we have had injury issues, that's been the one. Amerson's been banged up. Never had Connolly. Obi's been absent good part of the season. We missed Joseph one game. There's been turnover and not consistency at that position. I would like to see Charles come in the fold in some capacity. I mean, we are notorious for bringing old Raiders back into the coaching ranks to help out the team, and the position that's hurting the most, we got one of the greatest of all times at our disposal to possibly bring in. I think it's a no-brainer. You go talk to Charles and see if he's interested. Maybe a Charles and Rod combination. But maybe Rod was held back by his defensive coordinator. We don't know. We don't know. That's the thing. If you just changed one person, now maybe the rest of the guys are able to do what they wanted to do because maybe he was holding them back. You don't know. I hope so too, Michael. I hope so too. I hope so too. I really hope we can turn things around. We really need to be more aggressive, though. We need to be more aggressive. We started to really establish the run against the Patriots, but unfortunately, because of the way everything shook out, and all of a sudden we're down damn near 24-0 in a blink of an eye, you have to go away from the run. So Lynch was actually one of the bright spots of the game in Mexico. He had a top 10 defense 2 seasons when he was in when they were in San Diego, 2012 and 2014. I mean, they were never a juggernaut, but he had a top 10 team, top 10 defense 2 seasons, and they did not have the talent that we have. The Chargers never had the talent then that we have on defense. So if he could do that with them, what could he do for us? It's a fair question. Irvin did did not walk out of practice. Irvin and Khalil Mack were given a rest day and allowed to miss practice today. They did not walk out of practice. There wasn't no, I'm out of here, and they stormed out. It was not that. That's not what happened. Because I know some of these headlines are misleading that you read, but that is not what happened. They had a talk with Del Rio. He gave him a day of rest, and they left. So, of course, though, the news reports say, oh my God, they walked out of practice. Yeah, they walked out because they had to walk to their car. That's about it. But don't discount the fact that it was basically kind of their feelings are hurt and they needed a day off, which I do think is still BS. I still think that's soft. Go have some 3-a-days. Go some 2-a-days. You're 4-6. Suck it up. Suck it up. You should be practicing every practice you can get right now. I don't think... I honestly wanted to see the change of defensive coordinator in the offseason. I really did. I wanted to see that in the offseason, but it didn't happen. It didn't happen. Let's jump back into some other quick league news for just a second, because there's a couple other things. Did you happen to see Josh Gordon made his appearance back in practice for the first time since 2016 for the Browns? Smoke is back. Good for him. Maybe he can try playing not high this time and see how that works out. So he's back. Like I'd mentioned, you had Freeney. He's moved over to the Lions now. And then Revis. That one just... Man, I don't get that one. I just don't get that one. Revis trying to... He's just too old. He's lost a step years ago. It's just his move of desperation. I like it. I like seeing desperation out of the Chiefs. I like seeing desperation out of the Chiefs. That's a good thing. That makes me smile. The fact that we're going to go up against Darrelle Revis, I like that. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. So, let's take a spin through the rest of the games. Big matchups as you're looking across. The Bills and Chiefs are a very interesting matchup for us. The Bills are starting Tyrod Taylor again. Going to see how that screwed with his psyche benching him. But if the Bills can help us out and take down the Chiefs, who did not look good last week, that would be amazing. And if we could get the win and take advantage of that loss, big shift could happen for us. A big shift could happen for us. This is a must-win game for us. LA and New Orleans is another good one. So you've got 8-2 against 7-3. That's another big matchup for the week. You've also got the 5-5 Packers at the 8-2 Steelers. If the Packers have any hope of continuing to have a chance with their backup quarterback, they got to win that one. If they win that one, there's talks of them possibly trying to bring Aaron Rodgers back by the end of the season. If they can stay in the conversation, that they would possibly bring him back. Of course, if they're out of the playoffs, they're not going to risk it. But there has been talks that he could come back. It's a broken collarbone. I mean, it's a broken bone. I mean, he could come back. Those things do heal. So that would be a very interesting twist. That would be a very interesting twist. Yes, it would. Absolutely. Now, I do want to touch on a couple things before I jump into the next story. The RAIDER ReACTION team is now on the Twitter. So please go follow us at RAIDER ReACTION on Twitter. We are also on YouTube as well. We have a YouTube channel, Hardcore Challenge Live Web Studio Webcasts. Hardcore Challenge Live Studio Webcast. Hardcore Challenge Live is the studio which makes all the magic happen. It's where all of the webcasts take place at and are produced from. All of the webcasts are archived right after the show on the YouTube channel, so you can go back and check out any show that we've ever had. They're all archived there, broken out in playlists. All of our hype videos, documentaries, promo videos, every show, Hardcore Challenge Live, every Raider Reaction show, all the BC shows, everybody is all on the YouTube channel. Now, speaking of BC Raider will be back next Wednesday with Raider Reaction Fantasy Action Live, as he will follow me up on Wednesday of next week. He's off this week for the holidays, but he will be back next week with Fantasy Action Live to get you ready for your fantasy playoffs and by next week you should be wrapping it up. My last week of our fantasy season is this upcoming week, so you should be wrapping it up. So BC will be getting you ready for your fantasy playoffs and your fantasy playoff run next week. Following up Goes to the Post on Wednesday. Fantasy Action Live with BC Raiders. So make sure you check that out next week. All of his shows are also archived on the YouTube channel. So we are trying to broaden the horizons of Raider Reaction, trying to reach more of the Raider Nation, and like our credo and our motto and our mission statement, trying to paint the world silver and black. So, like us, follow us, subscribe, that way you're not going to miss a single thing or anything that we put out. Let's see, what last topics that left that I have not hit that I wanted to touch on. Well, let's get back in to the matchup for Sunday. Paxton Lynch who's replacing what? The defensive coordinator is going to be Pagano, Eric. Pagano is being promoted and moved up into the defensive coordinator position. Paxton Lynch, you've got him coming in. You've got Musgrave moved up. He's going to be the offensive coordinator. So you're coming in with a new starting quarterback, basically, with a new offensive coordinator in their first game together. And it's just, it sounds like a recipe for disaster for the Donkeys. And this is it. Everything is lined up for this to be a great bounce back game for us. But we've got to go out. We got to go out and get it done. We've got to handle our business. I don't know, Dario. Our entire O-line played 100% of the snaps this past week. All of them. 100% healthy. Played the whole damn game. 100% of the snaps on offense. So you tell me, what the hell is going on with the offensive line? Because there's just no reason for a line that didn't allow DC to even get breathed on last year, now is like a freaking sieve all of a sudden. Man, this team this season makes me want to beat my head against the damn table. Makes me want to beat my head against the table. I tell you. Because you just don't know. You don't know. Our team is healthy. Look at our offense in general. No major injuries the entire year. DC missed a game. A little ding here or there on the offensive line. But as a whole, we're healthy. We're healthy. That's why I still continue to believe, because mathematically, if we can win these two games, we're still in it. And that's why I continue to believe, because I feel like we're almost there. Like, just something's gonna click, man. Like, just something's gonna click. Because there's too much talent on this team. I can't give up, because I just see, it's so close, man. It's painful to watch. It is, but I feel like we're so close to to possibly breaking out at any time, that I just hope we can figure out how to flip that switch before the season gets away from us, because it is so damn close to getting away from us now. It's ridiculous. It's so damn close. So damn close. But I think 21-13 is my prediction. And I think we handle the Donkeys. I think we handle the Donkeys. And then we're 5-6, guys. I mean, the wild card teams are 6-4 and 5-5 right now. That's nothing. We're only 2 games out of our own division. There's still 6 games left. And we play that team once still. So we control one of those games. That's all in our own hands. I'm telling you, man. I have not given up on DC. DC4 is our man. He's our boy, and I'm not giving up on him because guys are dropping the ball. The opening drive, if Seth Roberts catches that ball, what happens? God, who knows? Who knows? Who knows what happens? Who knows what happens? A couple of those drops or catches, those are first downs, those move chains, those create momentum, and all of a sudden, you put points on the board. So who knows? The whole team as a whole is just not hitting on all cylinders. Now I'm going to wrap it up. It's a little bonus WTF for you tonight. Now we fired the DC yesterday. And I don't know if Raider Nation is just now hungry because we've got blood in the water. But we can't just keep firing everybody. Everybody wants Del Rio fired now. Everybody wants Downing fired. You can't, if you still have hope in a season, yes, you can fire everybody when your team's 0-8. But when your team's 4-6, a game out of a wild card, and 2 games out of a division lead, you can't just start axing everybody. Because that just means you've given up. That just means you've given up. And we're not ready to give up yet. Ken Norton Jr. was the sacrificial lamb that had to die. He is the sacrificed virgin that was given forth to satisfy the football gods, to straighten out our season. That's what he was. Somebody had to fall. Somebody's head had to fall. Because the Raider Nation was starting to call for it. They knew it. So Norton had to go. So they let him go. They brought Pagano in for a reason anyway, because if Norton slipped up, he was the guy who was going to take his place. So that was already set up to begin with. But they're not stupid. They understand you can't change an offensive coordinator this late in the season and still have a chance. You can't do that. That is not. The Donkeys went 3-7, and that's when they decided to get rid of theirs, because they know they are now basically out of it. Then you make the move. You can't make the move when you're still in it. That is, it takes too much for an NFL offense to move like a well-oiled machine and to move a ball down the field. It is not that freaking easy to do. You can't make that change in season. And you can't change the head coach mid-season and expect to continue on and be successful. That is a I fold move. We can't do that. We're not in the position to do that yet. When you are coming to a 2-game homestand against a team that's freaking 2-8 and 3-7, guys, it's simple math, and you ain't even got to take your shoes off to do it. You can do it on your hands. We're still in it. Do these positions need to be evaluated like Dario said? Absolutely. Yes, they need evaluated. But man, Jack Del Rio is a good coach. A good coach. Raider Nation has very short memory. How soon you forget what it's like to have Dennis Allen. Some of the other coaches we've had in a recent, Tom Cable. Reggie and Jack are building something here. Maybe they don't have the proper coordinators in there. But it looks like they're willing to keep trying. But I'm concerned. I'm concerned. But I have to say, what the fuck to anybody who wants to have our head coach fired right now. Because that will not solve anything. I agree, Michael. Everybody got spoiled a little last season. We got spoiled a little last season. We won all those close games. Well, that just doesn't always happen. If you keep putting yourselves in games that are that close all the time, sometimes you're going to lose. The percentages say more often than not, you're going to lose. Oh, get it. Now, there is no way in hell I can support Ray Lewis being anywhere near our goddamn team. I can't stand him. That guy is human garbage. I do not want him anywhere near our team. He's on my list of top 10 people I can't stand. No, thank you. Absolutely not. I cannot support that nomination. No. God, somewhere in the hiring character has to come into play. And that guy's got about none. So I will not be with you guys tomorrow night. It's Thanksgiving, obviously. And you guys should all be hanging out with your family. I know I'll be hanging out with mine. I hope you guys all have a very happy, safe Thanksgiving. You all guys all return back on Friday night and hang out with me, and we'll watch a great Raider game on Black Friday Silver and Black Theater. And then we'll get ready for Donkey Bowl 2 for 2017. I'm thankful for a lot of things. I'm thankful for each and every one of you that stop in every single night and even take a second to hang out with me and talk football, talk Silver and Black, and talk Raiders. I'm just some dude with a camera. So I appreciate each and every one of you that stop in. The page is growing and it continues to grow every day. I'm amazed by how quickly it's growing. And we're going to keep bringing you the fire, keep bringing you the Raider news, keep bringing you the flavor, keep bringing you the great memes that you can share around and shit all over your buddies who happen to be opponents of the other teams. We try to provide you all the ammo that you need. Mentally, physically, and visually. To help in our mission to paint the world silver and black. Follow us on Twitter. Go like up the Hardcore Challenge live studio webcast YouTube channel. so you can get every single show. If you miss it, every show is archived there in playlists. So it's easy for you to find everything you need. If you happened to some comments that you wanted to find, you were on the show, something. Everything's archived on there for you, so you can go back and check it out. So make sure you follow that up. And like I said, next Wednesday, BC will be back after the holidays, and he'll be following me up on Wednesday nights. Man, I'm ready. I'm ready for a couple of days off myself. I'm sure the rest of you are as well. I've got an exciting holiday planned for myself and the family, and I hope the rest of you do too. Hope everybody has an awesome, happy, safe Thanksgiving. Be careful when you're out there traveling, man. I want every single one of you to be back here with me on Friday. Him and Khalil Mack, Eric. Him and Khalil Mack. But I will be no show tomorrow, but I will be back Friday night for Black Friday Silver and Black Theater with another classic, and then of course a regular weekend shenanigans that we do with every game. So enjoy your holidays. Happy Thanksgiving from each and every one of us at the RAIDER ReACTION team. Have a happy, safe Thanksgiving, and we will see you Friday night. I'm out. Peace. Love. RAIDER Nation!